Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are watching from. Welcome, John. How are you?
Hello, Jens. How are you?
Turles FC. Is that Mrs. Turl?
Yeah. Well, you were Tales FC as well, weren't you?
No, I was
You were
silent.
Lloyd. Oh, yeah. No, you were. Yeah, well, you were Tales v Lloyd's, though, wasn't it?
Lloyd. Oh God, Mr.
Were you in Lloyd's or Tales?
I was in Lloyd's.
Oh dear, the enemy.
He was a.
Yeah.
He was an interesting chap. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to RickyVillaTV, care of Spurs Wasian, and also Shelfside Spurs. Myself and John, two of the original presenters back in, when was that, 2020?
Oh, wow, yeah. So it's during lockdown, wasn't it? So I reckon, how long ago was lockdown? 5 years, wasn't it? Next year, 4 years ago. Wow.
Yes, something like that. Then we both left for various reasons, and now we're back again.
Full circle. Redemption arc. It's the redemption arc.
So, welcome, everybody. There's the good old Johnny Einstein.
Is that like Phil and Grant when they left EastEnders and they keep coming back?
Oh, bruv.
You've got the air, wow.
No, you still got a lovely head of hair, John. No, I can't say that. Can't say that for myself.
Well, you said the other day you would choose to shave your day, so it might be you might still have the afro under there, for all we know.
Well, actually, funnily enough, when I did have COVID, I did grow my hair for a couple of weeks, there wasn't really an awful lot there.
No.
And I also tried to grow a beard as well, which was fucking hilarious. It's like like a 12-year-old. But let's start with last Sunday's result, which was rather a nice one. The South Coast Big Club, as old Whoopie Lowe used to call them. What a dick he was. 0, Spurs 5. Lineup was Forster, Dogie, Gray, Dragusin, Spence, Bergvall, Sarr, Son, Madison, Kulu, and Solanke. Got off to an absolutely cracking start with Madison in the first minute, and I actually think that I think I was just about sitting down getting ready. I wasn't really prepared for it, so the whole neighbourhood heard about that one.
It's a good start, wasn't it?
And then 2 quick-fire goals, Son and Kulu, and then again Sarr, and then just before half-time, Madison again. So what did you make of that first half?
It was a great start, wasn't it? We set our intention out on the front foot, didn't we, with that sort of driving round from Jed Spence. Sort of, I think they clipped into the right back area. He kind of intercepted it and then drove past a couple of players, didn't he? Like aggressively, with his athleticism, and great little ball into the channel. Bang, 1-0. Southampton, you can see the whole stadium and the manager just going,
Oh, I do feel a bit sorry for Russell Martin, because did he used to play for Norwich?
I can't remember who he played for, actually.
Yeah. I seem to remember I quite admired him as a player. Always, he wasn't anything particularly fancy or anything, but I'm pretty sure he was a defender. I might be getting confused with someone else called Martin. But was quite a rough and tough, go through the back of you in the first 30 seconds to let you know that he's there.
It's funny, isn't it, how those kind of aggressive defensive defenders become, when they become managers, they play this expansive attacking football. It's like they're purging their sins or something, isn't it? Like they're being cloggers, like they suddenly become these expansive attacking managers, don't they?
Yeah, maybe not the right league to do that in, but anyway, who knows?
It did make me laugh. They were saying on Sky that how all week they've been training in a new system, 3 at the back, didn't they, to try and combat, and then they're 3-0 down after no time at all. And he had to take his fullback off and completely change his system, didn't he?
Yeah.
Publicly admitting that he got that one a bit wrong.
Yeah, and he's gone now, isn't he?
He's gone. He's got the LP45 in the post.
Sacked during the week. But who was it? He took off.
He pulled someone off, did he? After
he pulled off one of his forwards, I think, Soleimani, and put on Nathan Wood. And I've always liked Walker Peters, but Gordon Bennett, he had a torrid time last week. Absolutely unbelievable. So yes, Luke, Shelfside Spurs is back finally. We did reach out to Rez to see if he was up for coming on, or I did, and he said he'd think about it, but maybe he'll be on in the future. I think he might have been a bit busy today, but he may pop in later.
I wonder if he's going to the game later. Might be.
Yeah, I would have thought so. He's still a season ticket holder, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, and Elias, big up John and Ricky. Nice to see you, Elias. Let me pop the link in, see if anyone wants to join.
I bet you'd have got good odds on us not scoring in the second half when we went 5-0 up. I did say to my brother at the time, I wonder what the odds are for us to not score in the second half, because we had that game on Thursday to sort of try and save a bit of energy and focus and attention toward me, and they'd given up by then. So
yeah, it was. I don't think Southampton really do have the players for the Premiership, do they?
Yeah, they
because who's they? I mean,
yeah, watch them every week, but they weren't very good on Sunday. No. I haven't seen a lot of them this year.
Looking at their team, I mean, this Dibbling guy looks quite good, and I remember Flynn Downs. Sorry, I thought his name was Wally.
Wally Downs, you remember him? He was part of the old Wimbledon.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Sorry, yeah. But I remember he signed for West Ham from Swansea, I think it was, and of course, as usual, the spammers were all excited, strutting up and down the old Kent Road, saying, "Oh fucking hell, this best place, fucking sliced bread," and I think he paid 3 or 4 times for them. But yeah, he didn't seem to do much. But Rebo was rated as their best player, and I seem to remember when I first started doing RickyVillaTV, one of the first games of the season was against Southampton, and they just signed him then, and everybody was raving about him, or maybe the Southampton fans were raving about him, but I haven't exactly seen him tear up many trees. And then Armstrong up front,
he
Scottish international, but he's I seem to remember he always liked a goal against us.
It was all set up for Dr. Tottenham to come to the rescue on it, and they could even take advantage of that, could they? Thanks to Jed Spence, I think, set the tone, bang, Frankfurt, away we go. Yeah. I did notice as well they moved the away fans as well. When I went down there a couple of times with Needs and Gaza, and you were behind one of the goals in the corner. Yeah. Before, and they kind of put us onto the side. Now I noticed when the players were going over afterwards to clap the fans and stuff that were not behind the goal anymore. I wonder what that's all about. Yeah, Southampton ultras behind the goal, maybe. I'll say one thing: it's quicker to get to Southampton than it is to get to Spurs sometimes. It literally took us an hour as the crow flies to get down to the parts up and into the ground, and we were like, Jesus, we wouldn't even be anywhere near Tottenham by after an hour. You just caught on the North Circle or something.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd only just be at Marylebone.
Yeah. Especially if you drive, no chance. It's quicker to get to Southampton than Tottenham on driving.
Yeah. Okay, so who would you give man of the match to?
Perhaps Sarr by far. I mean, I know Sky gave it to Maddison, didn't they? But he came off. Let's have a look at your list there. 77 minutes. And Pat was still pulling the strings. He was hitting some beautiful long passes early on, when like 40, 50-yard balls straight to feet. He was everywhere in their faces, robbing the ball off them, just covering and sweeping up and stuff. Got his goal as well, didn't he? Great goal. And he was everywhere, wasn't he? Those big long legs, he just covers so much of the ground, doesn't he? I think someone called him a lawnmower, don't they? Because he just covers every blade of grass, and he just gets everywhere. Yeah, just a great player. I mean, I've said it on air before. We don't look the same team when he's not playing, do we? Because we don't cover as much grass, and we're not as solid when he's not playing anymore. Yeah, he's going to be a big loss in that first leg of that semi-final, isn't he? Which we have a
visitor coming in.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Elias. Hello, guys. Yeah. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I'm doing all right. This is such a good time for me to come on the stream because it's like Sunday evening here. So like most of the UK streams are usually like in the early morning or like late at night for me. So this is like a good time for me. So I thought, okay, I could jump on.
That's why we did it, Elias. That's why we
Absolutely. Did it. Yeah. It's all for you, mate.
Thanks.
So we were just discussing the Southampton game, just coming on to man of the match. But if you want to give your thoughts on the magical first half and then roller coaster, well, easy second half.
It's been a while actually. I think the magical first half was definitely good. I mean, definitely, if you look at the performances, that was the better half. And the second half, I was expecting that we would bring on the youngsters a bit earlier on, rather than bringing them on much later in the game. So I was a little disappointed that we were 5-0 up against Southampton and we didn't give the chance to the youngsters to come on at least in the 55th minute or 60th minute. They came on much later. That's the only thing that I didn't like about second half. I mean, you can't expect much of goals in that second half, definitely, because you're 5-0 up and you have a game on the weekday as well. So overall, I think a decent performance, a better one. But I mean, Southampton is Southampton. You can't praise it that well. And yeah, I think it was a good game. Let's see if we can carry on that momentum now to the Liverpool game as well in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I felt a bit sorry for Gray when they were making all the subs and putting the youngsters on. I saw Dorrington on the sidelines about to come on. I was like, is he going to give Gray a chance in his actual position in centre midfield? Put Dorrington centre back, and he took a doggy off, didn't he, and put Gray at left back. So the poor bugger, he's biding his time to get a chance in centre midfield, and he got shunted from centre back to left back, and they put Dorrington in the middle there, didn't they? Poor old Gray. Maybe they're trying to keep him hungry. So when he does get his chance in midfield, he'll take it.
Yeah, I like the point that you make up, because I was thinking the other way around. I was more of thinking from the perspective of, like, if you have a young centre back like Dorrington, and if you look at Dorrington, he's a big guy actually. Like I thought, I haven't seen him before. When I look at him, he's quite built up, quite tall as well. Perfect physique for a centre back. Why can't we play him as a centre back if he's a natural centre back, rather than relying on a midfielder / right back to play that role? So I was like, we should give this youngster a chance, at least in games like Southampton, or you're playing like the lower table teams. You should be giving these youngsters a start in if not in the starting lineup, at least in the 60th minute or in the 55th minute at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We've kept a close eye on Dorrington because a friend of ours from our first schools, his surname was Dorrington, wasn't it? Yeah, so we've kept it as he's been coming up through the ranks. We've been on Dorrington.
Yeah, no, he's actually moved down to near where my dad and my brother live.
Has he?
Oh, okay.
He's moved down in Oakhampton, yeah. So he's moved from Thatcham or somewhere in Berkshire. So, but I think the case with Dorrington is he has been injured recently, so maybe that's why they're holding him back a little bit. But I thought it was lovely to see him, because was that his debut? Or
it was, yeah.
Yeah,
it
okay.
was. Yeah, they
wasn't
did
sure if he played in
saying how it's been a long road, and he's overjoyed to make his debut.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, sorry, is it Elias or Elias?
Elias, yeah.
Elias, sorry, yeah. So as Elias was saying, it would have been nice to see King and Olusesi get some minutes. Hardy, maybe. I'm not sure how old King is, but I know Hardy's only just sort of 16 or 17. So that could have been
maybe Ange likes them to have to earn their slot, train with the first team a lot and then earn their place rather than just chucking them in and making it easy for them to get in there, kind of thing. Maybe he's one of those that likes to, make them earn their spurs, if you pardon the pun.
You mean Mason King, right?
Yes, yeah. Not Ledley, unfortunately.
Of course. Okay, he is a centre back who can. He's a centre back who can also play as a left back. Wow.
Oh, really? Okay.
Something that we really need.
I know that he could play as a centre back. Again, he's another youngster, and I think it's great that these youngsters are getting a chance to be involved in the matchday squad, sit on the bench, feel all of the atmosphere, be a part of the team talks, etc. I think that's going to be really good for their development. So Right Heart Lane, he said, "Hi guys. Also, I'll be attending today for only the third time going." Nice one, mate. Bloody hell, I don't remember my third time. That was years ago. I think you're on mute. Hello.
Am I on mute?
Yeah, no, you're okay now, but I could see your lips moving, but I didn't see you hear what you said. Well, enjoy today, mate. And whatever you do, if you like a pint of lager or a pint of Guinness or a pint of IPA, do not go into the Bell and Hare. Do not go into the stadium. Go to somewhere like the Two Brewers or the Antwerp Arms, local pubs. They need your they need your money more than Levy does. So,
100%.
Yeah, we've got a sneaking suspicion that Levy owns the Bell and Hare now because overnight they kind of doubled their prices, and we thought he kind of cottoned on that people weren't, when they were kind of boycotting going inside a bit, they were all going to go into the Bell and Hare, which is the nearest one, and then the prices just shot up overnight, didn't they? So we reckon he secretly bought the pub to get the revenue in from them instead of his inside the stadium.
But the club own the corner pin, don't they?
Do they?
I believe so. Beavertown or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, it used to be £2.50 a can, didn't it, Jens, in the glory days?
The Bell and Hare, mate. Gordon Ben. It stood outside in the car park. Yeah. Rain, wind, or snow.
With trigger for money, fools and horses.
£2.50 for a can of Red Stripe. Oh, those were the days.
You were never too sure whether to bother him or not. Sometimes he just stood there on his own, wasn't he? You felt a bit sorry for him, but didn't want to bother him, though.
Yeah. That's very true. What Eugene's saying, need to promote the protests.
There's a protest, and there's also like at the 24th minute they are raising the balloons or something. I heard. The Levy out balloons. So I think the checking might be quite strict today for everybody who's trying to sneak in the balloons.
I can think of a way of sneaking in.
But it's easier to sneak in. There are many other ways.
I think the best idea is to that Kulusevski's gone, isn't it? Because the whole crowd can have a pop at him without. There's nothing they can do about it, is there? Really?
No. But I think that will be interesting. I hope that more people will turn up than they have done before. Right Hart Lane says was going to go across the road to the bricklayers. Yeah, that's another good choice. That's always lively in there.
Gazza on that log out the Gilpin now, which is just
yeah, that's a Weatherspoons, isn't it? I think
it's quite cheap. Yeah. Surprised me if it was. Big old place. They got Sky Sports in there. I probably just stitched them up, haven't I? They probably haven't paid for it. They'll get done now.
I wouldn't worry about it. It should be a problem. But that's down, isn't that close to the Tottenham Hale?
It is. So we used to walk down, didn't we? But they park at the hospital now, Gazza and Showbiz. So we walked down past there, and so that's on the way, the Gilpin. So
Heroin Villas or whatever it was called,
Well, like Heroin Fields. Yeah.
Heroin Fields. Yeah. It's a part of Tottenham that's not very nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, I knew.
Everybody used to have a P where they used to park, Elias, and then where they walked down, there's these like ploughing fields and there's like bushes, and we were about when it was dark. We said, I think we should be watching our foot in there. It's probably heroin needle.
Do you know that I've never been to London?
Oh, really? Okay. Any plans? Any plans to go?
Not anytime soon. Maybe in 2-3 years. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Because I'm in the midst of resettling to another country and all that. So yeah,
we're not really selling it to you very, very nicely, are we?
Yeah.
Let's just say the high road is okay on match days, but it's not somewhere you really want to go non-match days.
I heard it about that.
So White Hart Lane is saying, what time's the protest again? And
3 p.m.
3 o'clock, opposite the club shop. So that'll be in the road, will it?
No, it's sort of opposite the club shop. Yeah, there's where the railings are, and there's got. I think that you have like stalls and stuff back there now. Don't you?
Oh yeah.
It's just opposite where the traffic lights are over the road there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's hope that there'll be lots of people there. Unfortunately, I did ask Mr. Daigle if he was able to come on today, but he said he was busy. So I think he's probably heading down to the Scotland Yard or something like that. I don't think he's in England at the time, but
it's got some traction again. Someone mentioned it to Ange in the press conference, didn't they? They said to him about the planned protest today. So it's got some exposure on Sky Sports. It was the Sky Sports news presenter that asked Ange about it, so that's good. That'd be quite embarrassing for Levy, which is a good start. Sky Sports mentioned it on their interview.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that it does take off. So
it's quite good the way they framed it as well, Jens. Sorry to interrupt.
that's all right. That's all right.
They said, is it going to affect you? Obviously, clubs traditionally want to all be pulling in the same direction, and they said with all the planned protests today against the owners, is that going to affect your team? Like the crowd are against the owners of the club kind of thing. So it's quite a good blow the way they framed it and landed it to try and say Levy will be well peed off anyway. That they've mainstream media have framed it as the club is fractured and against him kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, from what I'm hearing, I don't know how reliable the sources are. They believe that they're doing absolutely nothing wrong.
That's right, yeah. Well, Carragher, Neville, and Jamie Redknapp have all had pops at him live on the recent games, haven't they? So
yeah.
It's in the mainstream there now. Yeah, they can't understand where all the noise is coming from, can they? Because I don't think they've done anything wrong.
Yeah. Well, this is probably quite true, what Right Hart Lane says here. I hate to put a downer on it, but I don't see it being a big turnout or Levy doing anything about it. I think you might be right there. There are too many people in the fan base who enjoy this new stadium because it's not like the old White Hart Lane, queuing for half an hour to get a beer or a hot dog or to go for a pee. And it's much more. It's not the football that I remember. It's there was always a sort of edginess
Much
walking
more
down the high road.
Commercial, you can say.
Sorry.
Much more commercial, you can say.
Yes, yeah. It's much more bring your family to the game and listen to the guy playing the guitar afterwards. I'm surprised you never got that gig, John.
I didn't apply. As you know, Jens, I'm boycotting the place at the moment until Levy's gone. I'm a man of my convictions, so
yes, yeah. No, that's good. I mean, we both.
But I just want to add on to that point. I think just having that presence there with the protest and just being there for the fans who are unhappy, at least it shows other fans who may be ignorant or who are just who are maybe new fans. They would realize it's a way of educating them as well, that yes, there's a portion of this fan base who are unhappy about what's been happening at this club for the 24 years. So because with the nature of the club that we have, like we have constantly a lot of Korean tourists coming on and all that, I think it's a good way to tell them as well, and the other new fans who may just have become fans over the last few years, who may not know the entire history of this club. I mean, I'm quite a new fan as well, but I have friends like Eugene who tell me quite a lot about the history. So it's really I think an opportunity to educate them and to further tell them that we have a portion of fan base that is unhappy, that prefers success over just the glamour of the club. They want the on-field success, so which is important, I think.
Yeah,
I would argue it's already been a success because of that question in the press conference, to be honest, because Sky are going to show how many people are there or not. Now they've already made the point that the fans are peed off at the owners, and the main broadcaster of the Premier League has made that point very clear in their press conference. So that's going to embarrass Levy, which is mission success in my view, because he's all about his public image in America and trying to sell the club and stuff like that. And any little thing like this is going to affect his sale price, isn't it? And his standing with the NFL and the American market.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I heard it, but apparently there were some Spurs fans in America who were going to be protesting at NFL games. Now,
oh wow,
yeah, maybe I can. You can take that with a pinch of salt because it's probably from Twitter and it's probably a load of hot air. But that would be interesting. That would maybe make him think, because we all know this January window. It's always so difficult to sign players. If you have the will, there is a way. You can sign a player that you need. Now, 100%. He will probably go for something just below a marquee signing and a couple of loans just to placate the people who are like, well, he's trying. He's not trying hard enough, though, is he?
Well, you already have the Korean guy coming in, so that's going to be one signing, which is old signing, but definitely the way PR and the media is going to promote it as if we signed him in January. I think he has already arrived at the Hotspur Way, according to the rumors. And then I think you may see one or two other signings. At best, I can see on top of the Korean guy maybe two more signings.
Yeah.
Let's see how difficult it is for Man City to buy players this January. It's a difficult market to buy players. Let's see how difficult it is for them.
They are aiming big, apparently. Like Man City fans have been saying that they are going for Martin Zubimendi to replace Rodri, and that rumor is like kind of strong in the among the Man City YouTube channels. They are promoting it big time.
It won't be long till they're coming for Kulusevski because he loves Kulusevski.
Yeah.
So it'll be a test of Levy to see if he resists Man City's attempts for
No,
I don't think Levy will
they
give
come
them.
through.
Not in this January window.
No, not this January, but in the summer.
Summer's very possible. And yeah, Kulusevski seems to love being here, but he doesn't strike me as the type of person who's like, wears Spurs pajamas when he goes to bed. So I think if an offer comes in from Man City, depending on how it all goes there, because it's a real shit show at the moment, and why would you want to move there apart from money?
It's kind of weird. I mean, I would be surprised if after the next game, Pep still stays.
Yeah,
I would be very surprised.
Yeah, that's
that's
a very good point by Right Hart Lane. Let's protest like United do. They do it well. I have to say, even though I'm not in fact, I hate the scum. Arsenal did it pretty well as well. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. It seems that I think they need to get some of the boys from the 80s who used to have a punch up every Saturday, because they're the ones who actually really care about the club. It seems so many people now are a little bit apathetic about it.
Well, the legacy fans have been bombed off, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's why they talk about us in the boardroom, isn't it? The legacy fans, the ones that have traditionally come along for the ride that they want to get rid of. I mean, that Jar Wobble was talking on, I don't know if it's Chris Cowlins or Last Word on Spurs the other day. He summed it up perfectly. They don't want us there anymore, do they? They want the Korean fans in there because they're going to spend 200 quid at the club shop. It's their one trip to the White Lane on holiday. They're going to spend a shitload on sunny merchandise. He doesn't want us there. He wants them in the seats, isn't he, really?
People buying pizza at half time, and I've told this story many times before. When I first went to the new stadium with my season ticket, I was surrounded by Norwegians, which is not unusual because we've always had a big following from Norway. But these guys were I can understand a bit of Norwegian because I'm from Denmark. So this one woman who was stood behind me, all she was talking about was getting popcorn at half time, and I'm like. So I assume she went and got her popcorn at about 40 minutes because I couldn't hear her talking in my ear anymore, and she never turned up for the second half.
Wow. I've said to you before, Jens, the moment I realised the stadium is dead was 2 years ago, the North London derby, when they beat us 3-0. And I was fucking furious because we hadn't laid a glove on them the whole game. We were rubbish, hadn't laid a glove on it. The atmosphere was crap. And I literally had steam coming out of my ears. We'd just been turned over by the Gooners 3-0. And everyone was just like, oh, well, let's go and get a beer at the back there. And no one gave a fuck. It was literally everyone just streamed off, smiles on their faces. They'd had a nice day out kind of thing. Can you imagine that would have happened at the old stadium?
Yeah.
We'd been turned over 3-0. And to Arsenal, all the flack would have been at Levy. All the flack would have been, the players would have been copping it. But there's nothing there. Everyone just went, oh, well. And just like, let's go and get a sunny T-shirt from the shop. There's no... And that's the culture they've cultivated, isn't it? So be careful what you reap, what you sow. I mean, the damage will be done by the time they sell the stadium. That's the great fear, isn't it? That all fans like me, you, Gazza, and that lot will be driven away, and then the new owners will come in with this commercial bowl, and
it's going to be a tough sale because like the stadium is under a different company, and then the whole I think stadium is like a totally different company and all that. I don't know what they're going to sell. There are rumors that even if they sell the club, they may not sell the stadium. They may rent out the stadium because they will keep the stadium under ENIC. And it's going to be complicated if it ever happens.
So Right Hart Lane says, people like me, if I had the money, I would do 200 to 300 in the club shop as I'm sad like that. I don't think you should call yourself sad. It's people support in different ways. Back in the old days, even at the start, I mean, I've only really become Levy out in the last, 3-4 years, and it was the Super League that did it for me. Before that, I did think that he was kind of trying. I mean, I know Daigle was since 2007. I can't remember how long you've been, John, but it's been longer than I have.
It was the transfer business that always annoyed me, leaving it to last minute, like a month into the season when we'd already pissed away 12 points, and then we'd lose out on 4th by a point at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then try these stupid brinksmanship negotiation deals to get a bit of money off, and we'd already piss away 12 points, and then, as I say, lose out by 1 point at the end of the season. That's what started annoying me about him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't put yourself down, right, Hart Lane. It's
nice stuff in that stadium, in the club shop.
Definitely, yeah. If I actually had a look on there the other day because my wife was asking me for Christmas presents, and I want a new watch, and because my old watch was given to me when I left.
By Daniel Levy when we got to the Champions League final.
Sorry?
It was given to you by Daniel Levy when we got to the Champions League final.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was actually given to me when I left one of my old workplaces in London, and it was a Tottenham watch.
Given to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. It was given to me. I promise. They actually really missed me for some reason, but and it lasted. What, it was 2008, so it lasted about 14, 15 years. And so I went on to have another look at it, and they're not that expensive, but I decided to go for a cheap Timex from Japan or something like that. So, no, there is a lot of nice stuff, especially the old shirts.
They're nice, aren't they?
What was it? The Holston yellow one. Was it 92, 93, something like that? With
I can show you Jens a couple.
Oh, I think I'm pretty sure I've seen you wearing it, John.
Actually, that shirt is so good that even in Malaysia right now, they every year bring in the new kit, and then they keep that particular kit for the sale on the next counter.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's that famous, the yellow Holston one.
Yeah, they did make some really, really nice shirts, and Pony and Adidas, and I'm never been that keen on Nike myself, but that's because I've always thought of Nike as an Arsenal team.
Nike kits are rubbish. When I used to run my football team, the Adidas kits were much better than the Nike ones.
Yeah, the Nike ones are pretty
boring Nike ones. There's the old.
Nice. That's the one.
Hasn't got the Umbro on it. That's the only thing. It's Levy's obviously going to pay Umbro, so he's obviously done a deal somehow. And
I love that shirt. What was it? Was it 96?
No, that's lower. It's 88, that one, I think.
Oh, really?
86,
85, I think. 85, 86.
Okay.
That season.
Jesus.
And they got this one as well. Jens, I got the other day. Whoops. Can't even turn it inside out. You'll like this one. I think this was 86, 85, 86. Drum roll.
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah. I was wearing it yesterday, funnily enough.
Oh, that's a good one also, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, that is 85, 86, I think.
Yeah. But that was the third kit, wasn't it? I don't think I ever saw us playing it.
No. Nice kit,
We crashed out early.
Nice to see you, John. Big up everyone. Come on, you Spurs. Patrick. And Swifty, as always, mate. Lovely to see you. Come on, you Spurs. Right, so let's have a butchers at the Spurs versus Man U game. Lineup was Forster, Spence, Gray, Dragusin, Porro, Bissouma, Sarr, Son, Maddison, Kulu, and Solanke. Again, unfortunately, I had some bad news this week, so I went to bed quite early that day. But it was a decent start. But what the hell was Fraser Forster doing?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, really, like, why would you make those kind of silly mistakes?
But I did see something which I thought is going to be, this guy's going to be a big player for us. Archie Gray went up to Forster and said, "It's my fault." Now, if you're an 18-year-old and you got bollocks that big to actually take the blame in a big game, I think if we can keep hold of him, he is going to be a Spurs legend. Discuss.
He's got shades of Steve Perriman about him. Everyone's been saying he's going to make a future Tottenham captain because of his leadership skills. I think he already hangs around with Fraser Forster and Sonny and the older lads. He doesn't hang around with the youngsters who piss around on the computer games and stuff. He's already got a good mentality. Good, obviously, he's quality.
Yes, we know, Eugene.
What's that? Wow. One name.
Cannot say that on stream.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the private chat.
So, talk us through our goals then, because I watched the highlights, but I didn't watch the full match.
My brother's taken all the credit for it. He kept putting anti-jinxes on. He was like, "What are you shooting from there for?" And then we'd score a goal from it, like the free kick. Like, what the hell are you shooting from there for? And then Solanke's good finish from that one. The best thing was the absolute. I know we shouldn't take a negative from a positive, but Gary Neville was just intolerable. When he went to 3-2, he was putting out all the cliches, Jens. I don't know if you heard the
I did hear a bit of it, yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, this is so Spursy. Like, it just shows they've got a weak underbelly."
Yeah, Man United are favourites now.
No tumble, yeah. That the momentum's turned. There's no characters. There's no leaders in this team. And we were like, literally, the goalkeeper's kicked 2 balls to him. He was having a pop at our midfield and having a pop at our defence for not showing any character. Right, they've done nothing wrong in the whole game, mate. The goalie just kicked 2 balls to them, and he was trying to paint this whole narrative about us being weak, and it was just disgusting. It was really annoying the hell out of us, to be honest.
But that is him and Carragher, and maybe not so much Roy Keane, but they have this narrative, and they never. Jamie Redknapp had this narrative, and they never change. It's always, well, obviously I know Jamie Redknapp's got a problem with us because of his dad.
Yeah.
But the other two, they're just it's all for
Carragher and Neville, they are like, I think they trash talk a bit too much.
Yeah.
The annoying thing about Redknapp is that it's his dad's fault. It wasn't our fault that it played out the way it did. He was fluttering his eyelashes at the England job, wasn't he? He refused to slide extensions and stuff, so pissed off Levy. And then when he had a bad run, Levy obviously didn't respect him anymore, did he? Yeah. And out you go, boy.
Yeah.
So it's his own making. It wasn't Levy's fault that Harry Redknapp didn't get the England job, was it?
No, I think under Redknapp and Yole, that was some of the most entertaining football that I can really. Obviously, we played brilliantly in the 80s, but I was quite young then, and there wasn't as much TV then, and also I didn't have the money to go. Whereas under Yole and Harry Redknapp, it was quality.
Remember the Newcastle game when it was literally right around the time when Redknapp was linked with England, and it was like a shoe-in to get the job, wasn't he? And we were playing Newcastle, and it was an evening kickoff, and we just knew we were going to batter them, didn't we? Because the way we were playing at the moment with Modric and Bale and everyone, we just knew we were going to beat teams. It was similar to that last season at White Hart Lane when we were turning up, and we knew we were going to beat teams, weren't we? Because we had our full strength team out, and we were going to put them away.
Yeah. So John is asking, Elias, do you still have your channel?
Yes, I do. But I've been crazy busy with my work, actually.
Okay.
Because we are moving into a new building, and then the move is in the middle of things and all that. So yeah, I'm trying to at least do like 1 stream a month. So last month I did 1 stream. Mm-hmm. This month I may do one like after Christmas to wrap off the whole month and the December fixtures. Okay. It's a little tricky, and then the timing is also a bit weird for me to do streams and all that. So yeah, like that sort of scenario. And then I got a side gig on weekends as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, everybody like and subscribe. What was it called again? Soccer Talk TV?
Yep, Soccer Talk TV.
Like, subscribe. Also to RickyVillaTV, to Shelfside Spurs, and Spurs Wasian. And also, if you're ever passing through a little town called Amersham, go and throw a rotten apple at a window of a school called Woodside for Turles FC. But now we have a guest who I don't believe I've ever met before, but we'll welcome him in. Welcome, Top Josh. How are you, mate?
Josh. Hello. How are you lads doing? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. So tell us a bit about yourself, mate.
Well, look, Tottenham Hotspur.
He's a famous guy, man.
Is he? I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna lose all my hair by the time I'm at like 20 years old, 25 years old with this team. But look, I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful team to support, and I've been supporting all my life. And I'm looking forward to the game today. I'll be honest. I think it's going to be an interesting counter because even though Liverpool are top of the league, there are cracks in that team that we can exploit, depending on the players that we do start in this starting lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's never a
tell us
doubt,
a bit about yourself then, Josh. Where are you from? London?
Yeah. So from London. Born London, next to Tottenham. And yeah, everyone's been supporting Tottenham really in my family. It goes back decades of Tottenham supporters. Season ticket at the former White Hart Lane Stadium and the current White Hart Lane Stadium. And yeah, what can I do? I'm born into this club, unfortunately.
Where did you sit at the old stadium?
Well, so I was too young to remember exactly the seating, but it was like above the managers, like just above the managers.
Okay, yeah. So it's West Stand, yeah.
Yeah, West Stand. Well, I'm guessing it's West Stand. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. John was always a shelf boy, and I never had a season ticket at the old place, but I was always block 34, Park Lane. That was
my granddad. My granddad had a season ticket on the Park Lane.
Oh, nice.
On that position, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely. So we're just discussing the Man U game at the moment. What were your thoughts?
Look, I think we did so much better than the credit we get versus Manchester United. I feel like they really did capitalise on our mistakes, Manchester United, and that's the reason why they had, I think, 2.63 XG in terms of goals, and we only had like 0.63. At times, we should have capitalised on their mistakes that we didn't. But the majority of the game, I feel like it was very much surrounded in that midfield in Bissouma, Sarr, and Maddison. Although Maddison did not have a great game, in my opinion, I think Sarr, Bissouma really dictated that match. And then you just saw the split decision makings from an inexperienced centre-back partnerships or defenders, including Forster. It's just inexperienced things that wouldn't happen on a regular basis with Vicario. But I think overall we did really, really play well versus Manchester United. Most importantly, what I did realise was that Ange made sure that Kulu, he saw in the first 10-15 minutes, he wasn't really getting involved in the game as much as we all really would want him to. But then Ange kind of sort of switched it to make him play a bit more deep in that midfield to help with the physicality as he usually does. But also because on that right-hand side, he just wasn't doing much. And most of the game was going down our left-hand side. I think we had like 73% of our play was going down that left-hand side, including Jed Spence being such an influential player in our pressing. Obviously, defending was incredible, but our pressing was unbelievable versus Manchester United. The big problem that we could see versus Manchester United that it could happen versus Liverpool is that press. The press that Liverpool make is that four-player press, the three attackers and including one of their midfielders usually press us. Now, this is a similar situation that happened versus United when the press from Ahmad or the press from Xerxes or whoever it was, Bruno, when they all press, we do very much get eaten up by it, especially because our centre-backs aren't very good ball-playing centre-backs. Archie Gray is a great ball-playing centre-back, but he doesn't usually do it. So it's all left for Dragusin, and he's, in my opinion, not great at distribution. So that's the big problem versus Man United that we had. Now, if we look at Manchester United and we try to copy a couple of things that we want to do versus Liverpool, that pressing needs to be, watched. We need to know how to get out of that press, because as soon as we get out of that press, I believe our midfield is strong enough to break down that Liverpool midfield. And as I said beforehand, there are cracks that we can, exploit in that Liverpool team. But versus Manchester United, overall, we played unbelievable. Solanke double goal, and yeah, very, very, very happy with that performance.
Where are the cracks that you mentioned in the Liverpool team? I haven't watched a lot of them because I don't watch as much football as I used to, or as I'd like to. I don't only really tend to watch Tottenham. So where do you see the cracks in the Liverpool side?
So I'm first of all just going to say the cracks that I see from the Tottenham Hotspur point of view is that one ball over from Trent. One ball over from Trent or one ball over from Szoboszlai and then you've got Darwin Núñez, Salah, or Luis Diaz could be counting us, and it's a long day for us. Now, in the opposition, the cracks there are really in that midfield. It's there to be beaten. It's there to be won. And usually, I do say on my match previews that the 1v1 duels, battles in that midfield is the most important for any game. But for this game specifically, it is so important. Now, whether or not Arne Slot is going to leave McAllister or Soboslai or Gravenberch by themselves in that middle of the park is a different discussion. But that's usually the areas that we could see Bissouma, Sarr, Maddison really dictate play in that area. One ball from Tottenham Hotspur to crack that full press from Liverpool straight into that midfield, we could see ourselves in a counter-attack. Now, versus Southampton, there was multiple times where Southampton were on a counter-attack, and it was just, I think it was Van Dijk, Trent, and I don't know who the other centre-back was.
Konate?
I think it was Konsa. Who?
Konate, or is it Konsa?
I think it was no. I don't think it was Konate. It was Konsa. I think it was. Oh, Gomez. Yeah. One of the two. Anyway, point of the matter is the fact that we could be on counter attacks. That's the best way to be beating Liverpool, because that midfield is not as good as it looks. It's very good, but it's got areas that we can exploit. Like I just said, the full players pressing leaves one or leaves two in that midfield, and we've just got three players that can overload that midfield. Now, usually that left back, which it would be Robertson, but I think he's suspended for this game. He usually goes too far up, or Trent goes too far up, and it leaves three players in that defensive defensive part, and that's the main position where Tottenham Hotspur can exploit. Kulusevski, Son, and Solanke up front, with Maddison helping up counter-attacking that team. I could really see us go for it. The most important part for this team, of this Tottenham Hotspur team, is that we don't rush things. We don't rush things. We need to know that we won't be having much of the ball. So when we do have the ball, we need to take our time with the ball. Obviously, if it's a counter-attack opportunity, we have to go for it. But we're not going to have much of the ball, so we need to utilize as much of the ball as we can when we do have it.
Mm-hmm. So here's my predicted lineup for today. What do you think, guys?
Makes sense. Is Bentancur back for this game or no?
No,
he's appealed. Got turned down. They were trying to get him off. This would have been the game. I think he was back for, but maybe he got rejected.
When will he be back?
Next game.
Next game.
Okay.
I think Spence could be potentially playing on that right hand side with Udogie coming in. That's the only difference I would say.
I doubt, actually, because we have Porro on the right. I don't think against a game like Liverpool, I don't think manager would make a change that big to play such a young player on the right. I think it would, if Spence were to play, I think he'll play on the left. If Udogie is injured, yeah.
Well, apparently he's one of the only players that doesn't seem to be injured at the moment. So,
Spence or
Udogie.
It wasn't mentioned in the press conference, was it? They just said about Ben Davies.
It was just a fatigue, I think. So I think he may be back.
Okay. So I'm looking at the injury list here, and Mikey Moore and Werner are both
injured.
Now, Werner being completely dropped from the squad.
Yeah.
Last game in. Can we read anything into that due to Postecoglou's comments about his less than decent performance?
Was he left out of the squad? Was he?
He's down with illness as well, actually.
He is. Okay. Yeah. Skyvalitis, as we used to call it at school.
There's no helping him. I was saying to my brother the other day, he's come on 2 or 3 games. He's looked really bright. He's set up goals. He's had really positive appearances, and then the next game he's just gone straight back to his old lacking confidence, head, shoulders down. I don't think there's any helping the guy, to be honest. He's got deep set problems, hasn't he, with confidence, and is at the top level now. So I don't think there's any comeback for him now. I mean, it went sour for him at Chelsea, didn't it? His move to Leipzig didn't go well, and now the Tottenham move's not gone well. So I don't think there's any comeback from him now. If he's not
the Leipzig move went well. He scored a well goals for Leipzig.
Yeah, if he's not going to get his head up after these, his recent performances, when he's been coming on and setting up chances. So I just can't see any redemption arc for him at Tottenham, to be honest. I think although it's not up to us, is it 100% to send him back? I think the parent club has to agree to it, or whatever. So I'm not sure if we can bomb him off, but it hasn't gone well, has it?
No, it's I really wanted it to go well because he seems like a really nice bloke, having seen him interviewed and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it seems that there's a mental block there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is a shame. But as Mark says, do we still have Raw Fox?
What's that?
Raw Fox was a player from the 90s, little nippy geezer we bought from Norwich, I believe.
About 5 foot high.
And everyone gives him a hard time. I thought he was a half decent player, but yeah, he was brilliant at Norwich, and then he came to us and maybe not so good. Oh, he was Newcastle as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So anyway, we have another guest coming in. Bloody hell, it's like it's like London buses. Nobody comes in for ages, and then 3 of them come in at once. So welcome, Haz. How are you, sir?
Haz, you right?
Oh, big up, Haz.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you're on mute, mate. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? No.
Very
Hear me now.
Very low.
Yeah, very low. Yeah.
Hold on,
He's had enough. He's gone.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Ricky, do you mind if I just comment quickly on that Spence in that lineup prediction?
Of course.
Yeah.
So look, I think if we the best way to get the best out of the fullbacks right now is it has to be, in my opinion, to start Udogie on that left and Spence on the right. I mean, defensively versus Liverpool, that's the most important. I think offensively we don't have that much of a problem right now versus Liverpool. It's just about not conceding goal versus Liverpool. I know it's going to be hard, but we've seen Udogie dealing with Salah already, a couple games already. He's been dealing with him very nicely. The big problem for me is Puro. Defensively, he's very, very, very poor. And offensively, he's not been great. He really has not been great. He's not been great this season for the past couple games, 3, 4, 5 games. Now, having Spence on that right-hand side, it also allows him to drive forward better than what Puro does. Puro, when he drives forward, he's got this body of like a lanky kind of body that any little push, he kind of falls, but he's got the good passing ability. That's the good thing. So, in my opinion, I think having Spence invert also adds another body into that midfield, and he does track back. So, and Puro's been horrendous these past 3, 4 games. Let's not try sugarcoat it. He's been horrendous. So I think if we put Spence on the right and Udogie on the left, saying that Udogie is, if we're saying he is fit to be playing, I think that's slightly the only thing I would change. But except for that, I think this lineup is perfect.
Spencer's got that express pace as well, hasn't he, Josh?
Yeah.
I noticed the other day a couple of times he got himself out of trouble with just his recovery pace, like just to get him. He's got those big legs like Son, and he can cover ground so quickly. Spencer to get himself out of trouble. Poro.
Don't hear you. Sorry, John. Still not hearing you very well, Haz. But welcome, Eugene. How are you?
Eugene, you all right, Eugene?
Yeah. Can you hear me, guys?
Yep,
yes,
very well.
Yep.
We most certainly can.
That's good.
Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, good to have Donny back on his channel. Right, streaming again. The OGs are back, right, and all the whale seamen we can have.
Oh Jesus! A duck
reference to the old school there, mate.
Rapist ducks, and yeah.
Yeah. And I think, John, we will have to do more shows together, right? Bring back your old format, right?
Yeah.
Where's the book? I missed that book, right?
Oh yeah.
So
remember the book?
Let me go and get it.
Yeah. Remember you used to read that book. You read from what happens today, right?
This day in history.
Are we playing? Maybe 20 years ago we were playing Liverpool on the same day, and also maybe smashed them, and those were one of the days. And it's good to see Josh, right? First time meeting you on screen.
We got ChatGPT.
Oh no!
It's a Christmas party.
This is old
have
school.
a drink. Well, if you insist,
yeah,
Mark, I don't mind if I do, mate. Cheers.
Yeah. And it's an old school thing that we used to do last time. Johnny will bring out his book and we'll read from it, right? And then we'll compare what happened, and we'll curse at what's happening. Yeah, on this day in history.
Well done.
Those were the days.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Nice.
Let's have a look.
I just want to go back to what you were saying, Josh, about Udogie. I know that Porro hasn't been great, but I don't think Udogie's been great this season either. Do you think that Spence's are better? I'm not sure that Spence is primarily, to me, a right wing back.
Look,
sure.
I'll tell you what. The way I see this game going is that, as I've said previously, defense should be number one. Now, Ange, the one thing Ange has to get correct this game is that when we do get the ball, like I said beforehand, we take our time, but also we don't invert both fullbacks. We've been inverting them, 4 or 5 games ago, we've been inverting them. We've seen a bit of a change that we've seen Spence in the past couple of games staying it back, going forward, but when Porro is going back or going forward. The most important thing for me is that if Udogie does play, he's going to offer a more stable back line than what Porro will be. Now, the question that you need to ask, what we need to ask ourselves is, would you rather have a fullback versus Liverpool? Would you rather have a fullback that won't defend, but he will put in those cutting passes into the attackers, or would you rather have a defensive fullback, but someone who will invert just as good as that right back, but won't be giving that cutting pass? That's really the question. I think personally, I would rather have more of a solid defender versus Liverpool, just because I think that they're just incredible right now. I mean, Ricky, I was trying to explain before the cracks inside that Liverpool team, and it was so hard to find them. But just to find them, I mean, you need to have the exact personnel to be able to crack those lines in that Liverpool side. And if you don't, then other players will be affected by it. And it's just such a hard thing to beat this Liverpool side. And if we can't defend our goal, then there is no... That's number one. That's number one for me versus Liverpool. Defend our goal.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Hans, welcome. Let's see if we can hear you.
Is any better or not? Is it still a problem? Can you hear me now?
It's still quite quiet, but we can hear you.
Has try adjusting your volume in the StreamYard, put it to max instead of automatically adjust.
What do you mean?
Very soft.
I think you can, if you click on the 3 spots.
Yeah.
And I think you can edit your mic settings. Well, that I can as a presenter, and also I've got options to kick you from the studio and ban you from the studio. I won't do that, I promise.
I don't know what the problem is. I've not had this problem before.
No, it's good. You're good now?
Oh, yeah.
I think
okay,
if you just lean in a little bit, it sounds better.
Yeah. Maybe it's my internet. I don't know. Sorry, can you hear? Is it okay now? Yeah.
Yeah, we go perfect.
Sounds brilliant now. Yeah.
All right. On Josh's point, I'd rather see Udogie with Spence at fullback personally. Because Forrest's been quite poor the past month. As for tactics, it's no point in debating it because we know Ange's going to chuck everyone forwards. So, let's be honest. And I've yet to see any in-game management from him lately. So, but in terms of are you guys putting Johnson on the right today or not?
Good God, no.
No. I think he will. That's the thing. I'm quite worried he will.
I think it was quite telling, Has, on Wednesday, that even when we were 3-0 up and then it went back to 3-1 and 3-2, he didn't want to risk putting Johnson on. I don't think he trusts him all that much anymore, which is a good thing in my view because he's been taking the piss a bit with his lack of defensive work. He just won't ever... I don't know what he brings to the team apart from the tap-in at the back post. What does he bring to the team? He's not creating any chances for Sri Lanka. He's not helping Porro defensively. He's a puff. He's pulling out of challenges all the time. I don't. Yeah. He lacks heart for me, Johnson. Yeah. So when
I don't rate him. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if he plays him because.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think it was telling that he didn't put him on in the week when it went to 3-2. Has and we needed some characters to step up and see the game out. He didn't risk putting him on, did he? Which I thought was a good signal that he's losing patience with him a bit.
But then in playing this front four, you kind of have to, in my opinion at least, not that he will, invert the forwards and use the fullbacks as actual fullbacks, because I don't think you get the best out of Son playing in wide nowadays, or Kulusevski really playing on the right, push him to push out wide. I mean, he's going to cut in anyway, so, but he won't do that. And
I think he wants to fit Maddison in, doesn't it? If he wants Maddison in the team, Kulu gets pushed out to the right, doesn't he? But
yeah,
if he rests Maddison and puts Kulu in the middle for Johnson, that's never.
Unless you could do something wild and put Porro at right wing and Kulu in the middle, but he will never will do that. I don't think.
No,
I've heard that mentioned before, but I don't think it's ever come to fruition yet, has it?
No.
I remember Spence coming on in a cup game as a right winger.
Yeah.
But, I've never seen him do that with Porro.
Yeah, it might be interesting shout. Actually, put Spence up there.
Yeah.
If we were playing Fantasy Football Manager, put Porro and Spence on the right there. Are you dropping Maddison for a big game there, because he played well against Man City, didn't he?
Yeah.
Actually, for right wing, I think Porro was better than Spence.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. Like, because Porro has played as a right winger before for Sporting, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah. So he should be able to play that role.
If you remember last time we played Liverpool as well, guys, they overloaded us on the right, and then they were deliberately targeting Porro for the switch 1-on-1. I want the left hand side. So with Trent Alexander pinging those balls, they're going to be trying to isolate our right back. So I'd much prefer Spence 1-on-1 defending against one of their quick wingers than Porro, to be honest, because he's got that athleticism to get back and cover the ground, isn't he, for the 1-on-1s.
But wouldn't playing both of them allow us to be more defensive on that side? Not that we're ever defensive anyway, but
if he's got Cooley there, he's going to do his donkey work, isn't he? More than Johnson.
I just think in this game, it's just my opinion, by the way, I'd rather see Kulusevski play in the middle, because I think he gives us a bit more strength in the middle. I just think Maddison, despite what he gives us attacking wise, I don't think he has like the ball for these kind of games where if we will get roughed up. He just doesn't have it, I don't think.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. I just checked my my lineup prediction, and the change I had, except for that Udogie and Spence one, was I had Kulu in at cam and Johnson on that right. That was the change I just checked out. Yeah, that's what I put. But you know what the big question here is, Bissouma. Is he going to be playing as that 6? Is he going to be playing as that 8? I think it's going to be such an interesting way to see how Bissouma plays, because last game he was unbelievable versus United, and I think it can be a very similar game for him versus Liverpool. But it's exactly what I think John just said this about Porro. The reason why, again, Jed Spence defensively, he can get behind, I'm guessing, Luis Diaz or Gakpo, whoever plays on that left wing, when Trent pings that ball over. How many times versus Man United did we see Bruno Fernandes put a ball into that box, and it was always that same ball going in, and Haaland was always 2-3 steps too far away from it. It was like there was about 4 or 5 balls like that. Now that could be a similar situation as Liverpool. The only difference is Liverpool. That's the only difference. Now, Udogie won't just revert, he'll come back. The only question again is, will Udogie be fit enough to play? And if he's not, would you risk him to play? Would you risk him if he's not fit?
Another thing is Salah, right? He's playing on that side. I'm not wrong. Is that on Udogie's side?
Yeah.
So shouldn't we try and double up on Salah or something?
Oh, no,
they probably will. Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought of, obviously you were talking about Bissouma. I don't think my problem isn't actually Bissouma's position. It's more his consistency, because obviously he played really well last game.
Yeah.
That was probably the best game he's had in like 3-4 games that I can remember. And it's just, he has to be consistent. Otherwise, for example, he has to carry on like today as he was on Thursday, because otherwise there's no point. Like, we might as well not have him here.
He's better when he plays with Sarr, isn't he? He just likes playing with Sarr because he's always got his back, hasn't he? Because the amount of ground Sarr can carry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's always got when he goes into his presses and tackles, he's got Sarr sweeping up around him, hasn't he? Because he's got such good athleticism. So he's always better when Sarr plays.
Yeah.
But guys, do you think that our players, right, will have enough stamina, right, to actually play the way they are needed to play, right? So the only thing is that my worry is that we might put up a very good first half performance, and then we'll peter off, in the second half. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
The style, the tactics, the way Ange plays his ball. And you remember, after the Manchester United game on Thursday, right? Ange says he's just lack of tactics. That's the scary part. The lack of manager comes out and admits that, right? Hey, big up, Ass. How are you doing, Harry?
Yeah, you're right. How you doing? I'm saying even when we were 3-0 up, I still wasn't confident. I don't know if I was in the minority, but I've just seen it all before.
I was doing a watch along with Dan, Spurs analyst, right? We were sitting there. Are we confident? No. Then we were saying that if they score that one goal, right, we're gonna, that Spursy feeling's coming back.
The thing is, Eugene, Ange got criticised for his lack of game management, but you rely on your experienced players to actually use their experience. And Fraser Forster is one of the most experienced players in the team, and he's made two massive mistakes when you'd hope that you could rely on your experienced players to lead the youngsters through a tricky period in the game. So what else are you getting from his experienced players there when Fraser Forster chucked
at the same time, he gave him a year extension, and also he insists they play out from the back, and he even said that in his post-match. So if it was me, I was at the stadium, which is probably why I lost my voice, I was screaming like to play it long, even before the bloody mistake happened, because I was like, why are we taking risks when we're 3-0 up? Like, there's no bloody point. There's literally no point.
So that is taking a risk. Going long's a risk because you're losing possession. Once the ball goes in the air, it's 50-50 then.
It's like that against every other team. Every single time the ball goes in the air, we always lose. We always lose it. It's always how is it?
To go long.
But it's less another point. Play it long than play it short where we were playing it, because Man United, pressed us so high because they made the Ahmad, Zerki, and Mainu changes, and they did a bit of moving around. And
that's suddenly what we want them to press us high, because that's our reward.
But that's basically right. I think
meant we conceded the goal.
Harry, I think Amarin, right, made a very big tactical mistake, right, by not playing his first team, right. From the start, you get him saying, he played out a lot of youngsters. I mean, not even youngsters. I mean, he played out a slightly weakened team, right? They didn't have Maguire, they didn't have Dallo, they didn't have who else? Mainu on. So and by the time, Ahmad Diallo also wasn't on. So the sad thing is that we went up 1-0, right? And they were creating a lot of chances in that first half. They didn't, we blocked 3 clear chances. You understand? And those who weren't even taking it as shots on goal because the defenders blocked it. It wasn't saved by the goalkeeper. And we gave them so much. The sad thing is that we conceded 20 shots on goal again. So, I mean, not on goal. I mean, they took 20. They had 20 chances, right? So that's the scary part about. But I don't know. Like Ange says, right? It's all about the entertainment, right? After the post-match, right? The thing is that he did ask, "Aren't you entertained?" Right? The thing is that, and then he was asked also, right? Would you tell Foster not to do all that? Playing out the back and all that. He said no. He said. So,
but that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the manager being a bit stubborn in that situation. Unfortunately, boot it forward. It's what it is. You got 2 inexperienced centre backs, whether you like it or not. Jagson's not been playing much football in the Premier League before the injury. Archie Gray's only 18 years old, and you got Fraser Forster, who's known for he's not great with his feet. Now, you as a manager need to get that message out to the defence to tell them, yo, boot the ball forward, kick the ball forward, get the ball as far away from the ground, from the keeper. And if not, then get that CDM, whoever's playing CDM or that 6 or that 8 to come forward to help out. But it's just never like that. We're always
what annoyed me, Josh, is that as soon as those mistakes happened, then he started playing it long. I'm like, you could have done that flipping 15 minutes ago. Like, I don't.
But it's not just that. It's not the first time that's happened. It's happened beforehand with like substitutions that he's done. He's done substitutions at the 80th minute, 85th minute. When all right, we just scored a goal now. Yeah, brilliant. But those substitutions should have been done 15, 20 minutes beforehand, man. Come on. It's simple mistake like that. But against Liverpool, Ange needs to be on it with all tactics. Everything needs to be on it.
Eugene, have you had your collar felt, mate?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Have you had your collar felt? Mark's asking if you're in a police car. What have you done?
Oh, no. I'm just sitting in my car at the moment with the light shining in my face. So that's why it looks a bit,
You are
But
somewhere
guys,
near the KL Tower there, right? I just saw it.
Yeah, just I was in KL. I was trying to show you the twin towers, but I only had one tower. But then, yeah.
No,
but
I
guys,
saw that.
I'm gonna make a move.
Yep.
Yeah. Next time, maybe I'll be right at the twin towers while we're doing a show. Then I'll show you what the twin towers look like. But guys, I'm gonna make a move. Right.
Okay.
Big up to Johnny. Big up to Ricky. Ricky Jens. Right. And Josh. Good to have you on the show. Right. And Harry. Big up to you guys. Right. Yeah. And Johnny, we're taking over Stealth Side back again, right?
Yeah, the book's here, mate. The book's here. Mate.
Read me what's happened today. I need to know what's happening today.
So on this day in 1990, 9-man Spurs come from behind to win at home against Luton Town. Naeem and Pat van den Howard both seen red. The former for foul and abusive language, and the Belgian for a poor late tackle. With Spurs looking to contain the visitors and already a goal down, striker Paul Stewart was forced to play in midfield for the remainder of the game. However, it proved to be an inspired move as the out-of-form forward scored twice to give Tottenham an unlikely victory. And that was the turning point in his career with us, wasn't it, Jens? When he started playing in midfield, we bought him as a striker and he was awful. And he started playing in midfield and he was really good. And that was obviously the turning point for his whole career with Tottenham, Paul Stewart.
Yeah. Well, he's a bit of a legend, this old Paul Stewart, in my book. I was on holiday in Cyprus, and I met a Man City fan from Nottingham, and we were just buying him that season, and he was like, "I will bet you £5 that Paul Stewart will score a goal in his first match, and he will become a legend for you." And I was like, "Well, I can't say I really ever heard of him, you know." He did become rather. Do you remember that header against Liverpool, like the edge of the box, and he went up and he just glanced it flew over the. Oh, that was a goal.
And the snow game with the orange ball.
Yes, yeah. Brilliant.
Those were the days when you can say that we'll make a transfer and then somebody will score a goal in their first game and become a club legend. Now you cannot say that anymore.
Well, guys, I've got to make a move, right?
First game,
yeah, I've got to make a move, but don't forget, guys, right? 3 p.m. outside the club shop, right? The protest is on. If you can be there, I can't because I'm in Malaysia. Lice is in Malaysia, and of course, Jens is in Amsterdam, right? Having a good time there, Amsterdam time. All right. And as always,
Amsterdam. I couldn't live in the centre, mate. Take care. Nice to see you. Leave me out.
All right. Take care, guys. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, sorry, you were saying something there? Someone scored the first?
No, it wasn't Bale. Didn't Bale score in his debut?
He did against the Gooners. Yeah. When we lost 4-3.
Free kick.
Yeah. And then he went on to have a torrid, what was it, about a year or so?
Wasn't it that record he had where he couldn't win when Bale played or something?
But funnily enough, it's similar to the Paul Stewart incident, wasn't it? He only got back into the team because Esther Okotie got injured and he got back into the team and then never looked back from there. So it's quite often, it's funny how that happens, isn't it? That they get a chance.
You know what I remember? We're winning a cup game and he brought on Bale with like 2 minutes left just to break the hoodoo. Brenda brought him on with like 2 minutes left to break the hoodoo. And then that was it. After that, it was all good.
Oh, they were good. They were good days. You remember where Gareth Bale used to get the ball, and you just thought something's going to happen now. It's like I know he really splits decisions, or splits opinions in the Spurs fan base. But it's like with me and Aaron Lennon. When Aaron Lennon got the ball, you could hear the seats go up as people stood up.
That's why I love Redknapp's team so much because we had like Lennon, Bale. Modric, Van der Vaart, like it was. Ledley King was still playing as well. And like honestly, that team was my favorite team. That was my favorite team basically. Even over Poch's team, I still prefer Redknapp's, but that's just me.
That would have been a good game, wouldn't it? That team against Poch's team, the Redknapp team.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're enjoying cleaning out the shed there, right, Hart Lane. But still listening. That's very kind of you. Please like, subscribe to everybody's channel on here. I'm not sure. Do you have a channel, Josh?
Yeah, I've got called Spurs Live.
Spurs Live. Okay. Well, I shall after this show, I shall pop over, like, subscribe.
Don't worry, Ricky. I get a lot of hate for being Ange out, even on my channel. You should see in the comments on my videos.
Oh, mate, I saw that. I saw the conversation you had with Ian the other day on WhatsApp. I was like. The problem I find with Ian is that because he's also a Celtic fan, and he has pinned his mast to Ange, and no matter what Ange does, it's still okay.
We can lose 6-0, he'll still be Ange.
Yeah, man.
Like what I'm saying,
I'm still on the fence. But
I don't know if he's watching. Like I sympathise him in some respects because I was like with Redknapp. Like I was like before I was on. This was before Twitter, I guess, or I was on Twitter much, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like a Redknapp apologist probably, like because I love Redknapp since he was a Portsmouth. So when he joined, I was like the happiest person in the world. I was only like 15, but anyway, and but like and obviously he had a lot of players. When I allude to Redknapp's team, there's a lot of players that we had under Yol, sort of, and also that kind of came of age. Obviously, Yol did have Lennon and stuff, but he was only like 19 at the time, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. But even with Bale, there's a lot of players that kind of came of age when I was growing up. That's why I think I have not an attachment, but I have a long nostalgia for that team a lot because it's like with Bale, he came when I was, and I saw him make it, let's say. And Van der Vaart was a player again who I used to watch Ajax when I was a kid. And I love Van der Vaart. Yeah, I love Van der Vaart. So when he signed, I was like, yeah, again. So, but yeah, so that's why I look at Redknapp's team. I think if we had three top players, we'd probably won the league or something. Especially that 2012 season. Yeah.
Yeah, if we hadn't have signed, who was it, Nelson and Saha, we'd actually signed someone.
Some really good striker and like a really good centre back.
I think it was Gary Cahill we were linked at the time because he was a decent.
And Luis Suarez as well.
Tevez, he tried to get Tevez, didn't he? Well, we didn't try.
But that's Tottenham. We're always linked with every single player in the world. Every single player has been linked with us. I can promise you, every single player has been linked with us.
But Josh,
we are linked with Milan Skriniar again. By the way, guys, do you know that?
At January before.
Yes, I did hear that we are linked with Skriniar again.
I saw that, yeah. I saw that.
How many times? He's turning into the modern day, what's his name? Leandro Damiano. Yeah.
Or Zaha.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the right player.
I remember I used to read every summer.
Dragoshin. Just a big old-fashioned centre-forward Skriniar. He heads it and clears it.
Yeah.
We've already got that in Dragoshin now, haven't we?
I actually like Dragoshin. I think he's really good, personally.
His distribution is absolutely shocking. Go on.
This is a really good question.
Rather than trying to play it out and did it wrong, personally. So that's just me.
Yeah, Jens, I shared something I want to show off. Yeah, that's when I met Aaron Lennon last year.
Oh, where was it?
This was in Malaysia, actually. He visited he visited for the punditry. So yeah, I went there to see him. He's a nice guy.
Man of the match award, man of the match for the punditry.
No. I gave him the local chocolate. It's like a souvenir with the Twin Tower packing. Yeah.
That's nice. It's good to see him look happy because I know he's had a lot of
I remember
issues with his
he's really a nice guy. Like a month before that, we also met Danny Rose. Like Danny Rose was a bit more cold. He was really friendly and he was really jolly.
But it's funny, they're both from the same city as well, aren't they? They're both from Leeds.
Leeds,
yeah.
Mainly people from Leeds, in my experience, are really fucking unfriendly.
Really?
Yeah, that's
actually, I met Paul Robinson as well. Paul Robinson was quite friendly also. Yeah, Paul Robinson.
Oh, Robbo, yeah. No, we've definitely had three nice, relatively.
I remember
nice
Lennon's goal against Chelsea. That's the one I'll never forget. The one against Chelsea when he broke
finally put that hoodoo to bed.
Yeah.
But it kind of hit his right foot off his left foot, didn't it?
Yeah. Go with left foot, yeah.
Yeah, I was at work and I was in the canteen at the time and he scored that goal. I went absolutely mental and one of the waiters who was working at the restaurant turned around and said, "Calm down, mate." I was like, "You don't understand what this means, bruv."
Exactly, they don't understand what it means.
Also, he scored on the 4-4, the equaliser on the 4-4 against Arsenal. Like, he has so many big goals he scored for us, if you look at it.
Yeah.
When it counts, he just step up.
What do we think, guys? What are our predictions for today?
That's a good question.
Don't all go at once. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the host to choose who's going first.
Go on, John.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you want to go last? I don't mind.
I'll go first because I'll get chastised. Wherever I say, I'll get chastised. So, so I'm going to predict we lose, so we win. So we're going to lose 4-2.
Anti-jinx. I like it.
Yeah.
I think we'll come flying out of the traps, and then the referee will start booking all of our midfielders to try and stop us rashing all over them. I reckon we'll get some early goals. 4-3 to Liverpool. Again, we're like has anti-jinx. Hopefully we'll win now because I've backed Liverpool to 4-3 us.
Alrighty then. Elias, Josh, who wants to go next?
Josh, you go next.
I tell you what, I keep on switching in from like a Tottenham win to Liverpool win to a draw. Look, I think my final score prediction is probably going to be a 2-2. I think it's going to be goals.
I'll take that.
All day long.
Yeah, I just really hope we beat them. We always lose them. I say this to my mates, yeah? I say to them like this. We could be having the best season in the world. We could be beating everyone, but Chelsea and Liverpool, we will always lose. We will always lose them, no matter what. We could be 6-0 up. We could be genuinely 6-0 up, and we'll somehow lose 7-6. We'll somehow. That's just Tottenham, man. That's Tottenham.
Yeah, that would surprise me. Mark's coming in with 6-6. That'd be interesting.
Here we are, mate. Here we are.
I don't think I could take that. I don't think I can take that.
I have to say, I've never heard of the referee today. Samuel Barrett.
Sounds like a
Dodgy.
gooner.
Something dodgy is about to happen, man.
He's a gooner. isn't
Sounds like he hates Tottenham. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like he hates Tottenham. Sounds like he's ready with his red cards to give to Archie, Gray, Jaggerson, Basuma, just flashing them out. That's what it sounds like.
Forster probably. So we don't have a goalkeeper for the next game.
Brandon Noston in goal.
He's a Chelsea fan, guys. He's a Chelsea fan.
Oh, marvelous!
Even better. Look at that.
We're gonna lose.
So what do you reckon, Elias?
Since Sam Barrett is a Chelsea fan, I'm going for 3-2 dodgy Liverpool win.
You know something dodgy will happen, Elias, after last year, that offside goal which wasn't given, which they're still crying about to this day.
Yeah,
Diaz won.
And you remember Lamella a few seasons before that as well.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the Champions League final, shall we? That handball, I swear.
I'm still.
Hey, calm down, mate. Calm down.
Oh
Calm
my
down.
days.
Hear about Bowen hitting the post when we should have won that game.
That's more like our fault. We didn't play Lucas Moura. Yeah.
When Bowen hit the
Very,
post
very,
on the Jose
very true.
at Anfield, I thought it was going to be 2-1.
Oh, but the amount of things we have against Liverpool, and they just bring up that one thing. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's criminal. It's criminal.
I don't actually hate Liverpool. I actually think.
Oh, I do. I
I
hate them.
I can't stick
I
them.
can't
For me,
stand
my
it.
top ones are Arsenal and then probably West Ham more than
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
But growing up where me and John grew up,
For me.
everyone was Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oh, because they were the
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, I hate Arsenal, Chelsea,
don't-
Liverpool for me.
I actually don't dislike United, but that's
No, I don't particularly dislike United either.
Because when I was a kid, this is a short story anyway. So when we stayed in a Greek hotel, this was when I was really young, probably like 7, 8, and for some reason, by coincidence, the United team was staying in our hotel. So they had like a red carpet, and they told us where they were going to come out with the coach. So I met Giggs and Bobby Charlton and a few other players. So
Yeah.
and Northgate United used to always beat Arsenal, so that's probably why I have a bit of a soft spot for that.
By
as well.
proxy, we had to kind of hope that they won so that Arsenal won't win, didn't they? So we had to.
Yeah.
begrudge
Yes,
them.
I met some of them as well, and Bobby Charlton was lovely. He was
So United are coming to Malaysia actually this season for their preseason. So I'll be actually going for that because like rare to watch a Premier League team coming to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Last year their legends came like that time their legends came for a game with Liverpool legends. And Berbatov was here and then some others.
Oh, Berbatov. Oh man, Berbatov.
But I met Berbatov separately on another occasion also.
Is there any ex-Spurs legends you haven't met?
A lot actually. I've only met Paul Robinson, Luis Zaha.
Zaha?
Oh well, he's not so much of a legend, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, he's not so.
I met Martin Shivers at the Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Tottenham Stadium. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
hello, mate.
Dude, I was very fortunate to have a friend who was very generous who took me to the corporate suite a couple of times.
You have the
met
Berbatov picture.
Paul Allen,
Oh, there we go.
Mickey
Gylfi
Hazard,
Sigurdsson. Gylfi Sigurdsson as well.
Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Is that a legend?
Fucking time out, bruv. Time out. Yeah, Paul, I remember it was a UEFA Cup game, and they had the UEFA Cup there from '84, it was Alan Mullery, and Paul Maxi Miller. And I walked up and I was a bit nervous, and Miller could see that, and he said, "Don't fucking drop it." So I sit there, I got a picture. Like, yeah,
is that the game that would be
Anderlecht,
Anderlecht, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, he's a tall lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite tall. Like I'm shocked.
You guys are getting too close to each other. There looks like. Oh, how close are you getting? Yeah. Bloody hell! All right, chill out.
Did you give him that chocolate, Elias? Did you give him that chocolate?
Sorry,
Elias, you're squeezing his hand.
Yeah, no, I think I did bring some gift for him as well. It was a different bag of chocolates, not the other one. I don't think
Elias, if I meet you, can you give me some gifts as well? Can I get
I'm coming over to Malaysia.
I'm coming.
Chocolate.
But you know, his birthday is the day before mine. I think he's the 30th on the 31st of January. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Same with Jose. Jose's like the 30th or between us, something like that. Yeah. But Berbatov must have been quite smooth, Elias, because if you see when you see him talk, he's like, I can imagine he's really smooth.
That's too much information.
What are you say?
Because I'm watching the interview and he's like, just so calm.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he makes a lot of good jokes, and like he will tell you all the inside secrets as well. Like with the manager, like if he tells you the story when he first time met Martin Yule, he actually imitates Martin Yule, like how he met Martin Yule and how Martin Yule said to him, "Bubba, my boy," and then he like really talks like that. That's so funny.
My boy. It's like Jabba the Hutt, and he better.
Gosh, this is sexy football. You come play for me.
Yeah.
Yol was brilliant, man. I thought he was really underrated. His time at Spurs was really underrated. What he did with the players he had.
Yeah.
I was lucky as a child. My first ever Tottenham game, because we lived near Watford, we're about half an hour away from Watford. Went to watch Tottenham play Watford, and my mum is notorious for getting to places really early to get parts and stuff. So we were waiting for when the team coach arrived, and I was the only little kid there that had my Tottenham tracksuit on against all these Watford boys, and the whole Tottenham coach arrived, and so I got to meet Chris Waddle and Ozzy Ardiles and those players. Nice. And my first, here's a good one for you. My first ever trip to White Hart Lane was my second trip. I got to meet Gaza. So my mum got us there at ridiculous 12 o'clock for a 3 o'clock kickoff. So we were like the only people in the stadium. So me and my mate Ali, we walked along the whole of the stairs. We were on the bench side, and we were looking down the tunnel, and we saw Gaza down the tunnel, and we were like, Gaza. And he looked up and he went, "All right, boys," and gave us a little wave. So got to share a bit of the universe with Paul Gascoigne.
Do you guys remember when they had the gates and the players would come in their cars, like blacked out cars?
Yeah.
At White Hart Lane, you could meet some
gates. Yeah. If you got there early, you could see them all coming in.
I remember
the best one I ever had was a pre-season friendly at Watford. As John said, we grew up quite near Watford, and my best mate's a Watford fan. So we piled in the Watford end, and it was a board draw, 0-0, I think. And so we went downstairs to Harry's bar. Funny enough, it was called because their mascot's called Harry the Hornet. And we come staggering out. Literally, we had a lot to drink that day. And there was the Spurs team bus. And my mate, Dave, walked up to this guy by the Spurs team bus, and he said, "You know what? You look really like John Gorman." And John Gorman turned around and said, "Yeah, that's because I am." And then Glenn Hoddle came out, Teddy Sheringham, other players like that. It was, that was...
that shit.
I met Teddy Sheringham as well, by the way.
Oh, right, yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah. But Teddy Sheringham was more like I met him when the United and Liverpool legends came. Yeah. So there were like a lot of legends, and then you can like take a picture with them.
Can I ask what you do for a living?
I work for an international school as a manager. Yeah,
okay. A manager? Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Recently promoted manager.
I was like, no, I'm like, nice.
Even I used to be a manager. Come on, it doesn't take much to be a manager.
As we can tell with Ange, I guess. Yeah.
So no, because I started working as like when I was like 16, 17. So like I reached the managerial level at a younger age. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. Right. So I still haven't given I don't think you've given your prediction.
Oh yeah, I was saying 3-2 Liverpool win.
Yeah, he's a 3-2 to Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay. I am gonna go for 3-2 Liverpool as well. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able
Do you
to.
think it's important for us to put a set a marker down ahead of this League Cup semi-final to show that we can beat them at our place, just getting their heads a little bit?
Yeah,
I think they're different games.
Doesn't really do that, does it?
No.
I think they're different game in the semi-final because I don't know what team they're going to put out. It might play in our favour, and also I don't know. It's just a different game because it's 2 legs. It's a bit different. I don't know.
No Basuma, no Madison, and no Sarr, isn't it? Suspended for the first.
Oh, Sar's all 3 of them are out.
I don't think Basuma is. It's just Sarr and Madison.
Madison,
yeah. Okay.
Bentford will be back by then, right? Or not?
Yeah,
hopefully. No doubt he'll get injured as soon as he comes back. But anyway, yeah.
But also, I remember in the old White Hart Lane, as a kid, I used to wait for like the players to come out after the game.
Yeah,
like,
by Rudolph's, Valentino.
Yeah, I have like a little book. I have to find it one day. I know where it is.
Oh yeah.
And I had got like Casey Keller's signature and some other players. Like, was it Ben Thatcher or something? Because
Ben Thatcher. Fucking hell, he's someone I'd rather forget.
Like players like that, I have like signatures.
Sure, Pedro Mendes would as well.
Pedro Mendes was a legend,
good player.
Him and Sean Davis in the middle.
Yeah.
Harry got
underrated.
elbowed in the head, though, didn't he, by Ben Thatcher when he was at Portsmouth? He got absolutely like concussion and broke his skull or something, didn't he? Like Ben Thatcher went in by elbow on him and took him out.
He was a bit of a thug, was old Benjamin. But anyway. Right, guys. Any other business or any plugs? Because I'm going to wrap this up in a minute.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to all Spurs fans around the globe.
Absolutely.
And to Arsenal fans.
Fucking well, sorry. Yeah.
I mean, if we win tonight, we are doing them a favor, though.
Yeah,
that's another thing I thought of as well, Elias. I was like,
yeah.
But it's not the season, and I think Liverpool will catch on, and they will.
Yeah, but it's never going to be the same thing as what happened versus City. It will never happen again. Thank
you
God.
Say that happened before.
Yeah.
What are our fixtures like? Let's check.
That happened when we had to lose to United. So Liverpool, the Arsenal won the league, but at Old Trafford, and we took the lead. I actually remember. The weird thing is, I have a vague memory watching this game as a kid, even though I was like 6 or 7. My dad was like, "We need United to win." I'm like, "What's going on?" Anyway, and
so
then scored, and then they were like, the Spurs fans were like, "Why are you celebrating?" Because we went 1-0 up. Do you remember this? And then
it will never happen again, though. It will never happen again. Time has changed. There is no chance.
Josh, do you know that one of our last few games is against Liverpool?
Yeah, it is.
What about what?
It is, yeah.
One of our last few games is against Liverpool, and there's a
chance.
No,
we've got like crazy amount of last games like against the top
teams.
And it may get postponed to be the latest game. Like let's say if Liverpool were to qualify, if Liverpool were to
they'll win it. They'll win the league by then.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So let's hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal will bottle anyways. We all know that by now, right?
But then you say that it's their best chance to win the title this year now because of City.
Probably is, yeah. But
happy about Jurgen Klopp.
Swifty.
But you have Chelsea as well, right? Chelsea is not that far off either.
Yeah.
I would rather Chelsea win than
Arsenal. A lot of good stuff there, you know.
But just before we head off, I'd like to pay tribute to someone who I was very honoured to call my mother, who unfortunately passed away this week. As you can see on the left-hand side, she's got a Spurs hat on. It was her godfather who got me into supporting Tottenham. He was from Potter's Bar originally. My mum was from Hastings. And she'd been ill for a long time, so it's good that she's gone. But love you very much, Mum. Rest in peace. And as it says, a shining light in the darkness of life. So thank you very much for coming on, fellas. And we will hopefully be doing this every Sunday. If you guys are available. I know early kickoffs you probably can't make, but and Josh as well. But John, if you can get out of bed, mate, you're more than welcome. And Elias,
get out of bed.
That was a joke. He's an early riser, isn't he? He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's fitness for the heck. So.
What is Sturfs FC, by the way? Is it like a?
It's a long story about.
when we're at school,
thank you very much.
when we were at middle school, we used to have like every lunchtime. There's one class was called Tails and one was called Lloyd's. Mrs. Tail, Mr. Lloyd's. So we used to have Tails v Lloyd's. I was in Tails and Jens was in
I was in
Lloyd's.
Lloyd's. John was actually a good football player. I was fucking shit.
Less of the past tense. I still play.
Oh, sorry, John still is a fucking good football player.
And you're no longer a football player.
No, I can't remember the lot. Well, I kick stones down the street occasionally and tend to fall over while I do it.
I still have memories.
You can say you are like Gareth Bale now. You play golf.
Play golf.
I couldn't think of anything more boring. Sorry, golf is really not my cup of tea. But okay, then, guys. Thank you very much for turning up.
Sunday morning.
It was an absolute pleasure to meet you, Josh. And thanks for coming on, Harry and Elias. We've met before, I know. And well, John, yeah, you're always there or thereabouts, aren't you? So take care, guys. Come on, you Spurs, and
Come on, you Spurs.